Okay, we're gonna go anyway. Hi, welcome to In the News, and today we're talking about the Michigan Supreme Court that ruled that medical marijuana dispensaries were no longer allowed. And so it's like, really? How could that be? Because the law was passed in 2008, and I guess it turns out somewhere in that law they didn't write the word dispensaries because they thought dispensaries would create a problem, and so it has created a problem. So here it is in 2013. There was a 4-1 ruling last Friday that the existing medical marijuana dispensaries had to shut their doors. And I'm thinking, how could you say people got to shut their doors? I mean, because it turns out none of these people that have dispensaries, they had to put up their own money to do that. You cannot get a loan for something that the federal government does not endorse. So a lot of these people that have dispensaries right now, they had to put up their own cash to get that done. So me, being the reporter that I am, decided to do a little investigation. And this is some of the things that I found. It was quite interesting. So I was looking on the National Cancer Institute. That's where this source came from, the National Cancer Institute. And they talk about cannabis and cannabinoids. And check this out. This I just find just so fascinating that I'm really going to have to read it because I don't want to screw this up. Okay, so it tells you the history of medical use of cannabis. So I thought that would be interesting to know. It says the use of cannabis for medicinal purposes dates back at least 3,000 years. 3,000 years, people, 3,000 years. So I got my trusty little calculator and I said, wow, this is 2013 minus 3,000. That puts us back to like 988 before Christ. I said, really? Cannabis has been around for that long? And so, I double checked it and I said, yeah, I guess you are right. Because it says the purpose dates back to at least 3,000 years. So check this out. It came into use in the Western medicine. So there's a difference in Western civilization and Eastern civilization. I now hear that there's more of an integrative thing going on between medical and Eastern type, medicine and all that. So, Western medicine in the 19th century, and it really wasn't, anyway, Western civilization in the 19th century, and was said to relieve pain, inflammation, spasms, and convulsions. So, this I found to be truly, truly shocking, folks, and you can find this on the internet. I ain't making it up. Once again, I found it from the National Cancer Institute, a very reliable source, okay? In 1937, the U.S. Treasury began taxing cannabis. In 1937, they began taxing cannabis under the Marijuana Tax Act. Who would have known that one? Back in 1937, there was and this is the U.S. Treasury, the people that still run, the federal government now with the money and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so anyway, under the Marijuana Tax Act, at $1 per ounce for medicinal use and $100 per ounce for recreational use. So way back in 1937, in good old US of A, okay, marijuana was not an issue. Matter of fact, they were letting people that had medical reasons to use it to get it for a buck. And if you just wanted to use it for recreational purposes, okay, you're paying $100 to the U.S. Treasury. But along came the guys in the white coats. The American Medical Association opposed this regulation of cannabis and did not want studies of its potential medicinal benefits to be studied. Let's ponder on this one. Da, 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 da. I wonder why. Could it be? Let's see. Those pharmaceutical companies might not have been able to get their hands on it. So let's just squash it, okay? Because they had deep pockets and they still got deep pockets now. Anyway, the American Medical Association opposes regulation of cannabis and did not want studies of its potential medicinal benefits to be used. In 1942, cannabis was removed from the U.S. pharmacopoeia, I think that's how that's pronounced, because of continuing concerns about its safety. Only people that was concerned about its safety was the American Medical Association. And you know what that's like. When you first don't know, scare it off. We're not sure what that is. So, make people frightened of it. And then in 1951, Congress passed the Boggs Act, B-O-G-G-S. You can look this up too, which included cannabis with narcotic drugs for the first time. Go figure. So I guess the AMA was pretty proud of what they were able to accomplish. They went to Congress, they lobbied, they got what they wanted, and now it's okay for them to be out here pushing all these other drugs and give you all these other side effects, and they put it in itty bitty tiny print But the cannabis, they don't do, and it turns out the cannabis does have some benefits for people that have cancer. It actually retards the tumor. It shrinks the tumor, people. You know, it can actually help. So why would you not want this to be available for the people that would like to try that versus, you know, pumping chemotherapy through their system? Because right now, I mean, they do have some targeted chemotherapy now. But for the most part, all they do is it's like one size fit all. Just pump it all the way through your system, clear everything out. And there's really no guarantee that it's really going to work. I mean, it will go in, kill, and destroy and everything else. But what are the good things that it's killing and destroying? And what are all those ugly side effects that they do not talk about? And it is there. So back to this. So back in 1970, marijuana was put on the classified Schedule 1 drug list. So back to the story at hand. So when I first heard this story on Friday, you know, I said, wow, they're really shutting down all the dispensaries. And, you know, people were saying, well, what is this about? And so I said, well, let me go investigate and let me go read. So I contacted the Detroit Free Press, ding, and I got a call back, ding, because at the very bottom of this 2-page article, the guy really did a good thing. His name is Bill Latner, so he's like following up on this. He said there's a bill pending in the state legislature would allow dispensaries, and now it's really time for all of us to get behind that law set. So I'm not saying if I'm for or against it. I'm just saying that if it's an alternative for an alternative medicine, and studies and research have been done to show that it really does help with inflammation, and there have been studies shown that inflammation can be a cause for cancer, because think about it, you got all that inflammation sitting around in your organs and everything else. It's taking up space that it shouldn't take up space, and it's like anything else. When things don't sit the way they should sit, other things start to grow and populate, okay? So this is something that you definitely want to keep up with. It'll be in the news this week. Today is February 11th. So make sure you're looking on the Free Press. Check out Bill Latner, L-A-I-T-N-E-R. He will be doing an update on it with the Free Press. You just want to stay informed because so many things get by us. So many things. So that'll do it for In the News with your ding, 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 me. Bye.